Blyth test route, 11th of February 2025, 09:17. Like and subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. About 87% of my watchers are not subscribed. The original audio is not recorded for data protection reasons, which actually says in the test center that you can record the front of the video, and I also contacted the DVSA to ask their guidance on this, and I can record out of the window. If I couldn't record out the window, then what I probably would have done is just replicate the video by doing it a half an hour later or something after the test. I don't know. But anyway, this is a live video. This is a pass. Come up to the corner. Complicated. Stop dead. Let the truck go. You're not going to win. Let him go. Yeah, decent pass today. 5 minors. We'll talk about them as we see them. They're not all that obvious. That's all I'll say to that. They're not... The minors that you would go, yeah, I suppose it is. A little bit unusual. I've flicked through this quickly, but not like excessively. I've just kind of worked out where the reversing manoeuvre was and worked on that. Another bit of meet and greet here. Again, just watching this left-hand side, dead slow. Watch what's happening. Should the van have waited on the right-hand side of our perspective? Should the van have waited? Yeah, I think he should have done. Meet and greet situation. He's dominating the road. There's lots of situations and scenarios where you see somebody coming towards you, and if you watch anything on TikTok like Jobber will literally describe that the oncoming vehicle has the opportunity to make way and give way to the car that's approaching. And if that's the case, they probably should have stopped on the left-hand side, shouldn't they, really? Let's be honest about it. There's a learner car heading towards you. Are you going to tempt fate and effectively try? Yeah, you're not, are you? Just holding at this line, absolute dead stop. Again, we've got another truck that's coming around this corner. What's going on here? We're going to go straight on, by the way. I don't know what the... No, you can't make it up, could you? Did my eyes deceive me? I'm going to rewind that and I'll come back to it. Just give me one memento. Wait for this car just in front of us. I record this audio live as is. I don't interrupt it. I don't pause it. And that's the only time I've actually ever do this. And the whole time I've been doing that, I double checked and I rewound that back to that section. And I had a look across and that truck was definitely indicating left. Very unusual. Then he carried on straight. You sometimes wonder, and that's a professional driver. There's lots going on that first section of video. You've potentially got a stop on the left. You've got somebody that's crossing the road. You've got a really busy intersection, a busy crossroads. Lots happening. Following the road ahead. Dead stop at the line. Moving up. Opportunities round here to stop on the left, stop on the right, reverse, parallels, all sorts of things in this area. Actually quite a good bit of testing as well. Complicated. That was a very complicated. The pupil, by the way, the candidate on this test had done 55 hours of my tuition. Was actually ready kind of around about 40. Had to delay test because it was the 3rd of January. Had a problem with it. Yeah, I'll come back. We're looking at this car that's reversing. Should we let them go? They've sort of froze. Have a little look at it. Can we get round? We've stopped. Yeah, good decision. Let's move up. Let's get round them. The reversing cars decided to stop. Dead. Not moving. We probably should go around at that point. Good decision made, I think, there. Giving them plenty of room. Having a look in this gap. Yeah, it's quite well done when you think about it, because that car isn't moving. Should the reversing car move? Yeah, I think the instructor should have encouraged them there. So the pupils had 50 hours, 55 hours, was ready in 40, had to move the test due to family holiday, had to move the test due to exams. So we've had to move it a couple of times and had some problems with that moving of that test. She also had quite a lot of private practice in her own car. I don't know, maybe 20-30 hours, something like that. So overall, probably done about 80 hours. Is that right for this person? Possibly. I probably didn't think she needed all that much, but you know what? If I pass first time on 80 hours of private and instructor-led tuition, so what? It means that you passed. You don't have to ever do it again. Passed first time, 5 minors, 17-year-old, done. I've intentionally blurred out a picture at the end because technically she's a minor, and the person that passed this test probably won't mind me saying that because I sent her the original photo when we took it at the test centre, which I always do. Parallel park here. I already know there's a minor. I was told about the minor, so we're coming back using those reference points. Do it the way that your instructor has told you, possibly getting back to that point there, having a look around, observing every bit of glass in the car at least twice during this manoeuvre, bringing it back, left hand side, quite a shallow curb, a little bit tight, might have just about caught it with the front wheel maybe, or with the back wheel. Because it's so low, you only feel it rub a little. You don't massively feel it. Now, you probably don't want to get stupid close to the car in front of you. And if this is your car in front of us, by the way, yeah, your car is a target for probably most of the learner cars around here to do a bit of practice of parallel. So if that's your car, thank you very much, I think. Should I be saying thank you? Maybe I should. So plenty of practice gets you a driving test. If you've come outside of the area, if you've come outside of Blyth and you're not sure about Blyth, just absolutely make sure you're doing the right thing when you're driving around your local area. That makes sense? Good. If you've come from elsewhere, if you've got an international driving license, did a video on international, make sure you're really familiar with all the quirks and the rules and yeah, make sure you're happy with everything. Now then, candidate's done a manoeuvre. Candidate is now just following directions. It was follow the signs for a little bit and also a little bit, yeah. She's come out of junction there. A little bit difficult. Crossroad, really tough to get around. Sort of self-resolved itself. I would always stop at those. Closed junction. If you don't know what a closed junction is, it's one where you can't see. Stop at the line. Look, assess, decide and act. Move off. So in that first section, we're only, 8 minutes in, and there's so much to talk about on it. We got a stop on the left. We got a truck that did something weird. In fact, we had a truck right at the start. We had a little bit of weird meet and greet. We then dealt with a learner car that's doing a parallel that sort of froze. We're then dealing with our own parallel park, and we're dealing with a turn that's effectively 130 degrees on that corner. There's a lot for this person to take in. So now she can breathe. Now she can relax. She can enjoy the drive. A little bit of meet and greet. Let's watch what's happening. Coming back to our normal driving position, potentially waiting for the cars that are coming. There's no way you're going to get through there. Hold. Look at the space. Moving off. You're not moving off from the side of the road. Don't need a blind spot check. Don't need a signal. You're just continuing your regular drive. It's not a stop on the left. That was just a meet and greet situation. And again, just ducking into this left-hand side, trying not to inconvenience anybody, trying not to make like anybody stop, swerve, beep their horn, flash the lights, do anything stupid. Just trying to get along Plessey Road. Standard sort of thing on a driving test, that it's testing your skill or ability. If it wasn't, you just drive round in a box and they would give you a license. A lot of arguments now about why can't we sign off on loads of modules, and then the client could go to do a driving test of just literally driving around a box. I think it's massively open to corruption. That I think most exam instructors would probably just sign lots of people off while a pupil goes around a box. I don't think for a lot of people it would work. A lot of stuff changing. Graduated driving license is probably going to come in. Still kind of watching that. Looking at the DVSA as well to see what the waiting times have been. Another stop on the left-hand side. Hoping that they get down to 7 weeks. I had a little chat with the examiner. I've made a video this week. He's just put sat-nav on if you're interested. You saw his hand on the dashboard there. Little chat with the examiner at the end. There was a lot of cancellations in and around Gosforth and Blyth. I made a video on it. It's really interesting that they're finding that for some reason there's been lots of cancellations, whether it's been sick, whether somebody's been not applied. He's not going to reveal that. I kind of understand that. But there's been a lot of cancellations. So if your test was cancelled, then keep checking your emails. Keep checking that change my driving test login thing. Moving off from the side of the road. Rear mirror, right mirror, blind spot on the right hand side, signal, move off. Got it? Good. So prepare, observe, manoeuvre. As my cat meowed in the background. My many cats meow in the background. So just following the road all the way down Plessey Road. This now in done the town bit. We probably won't do any of that. We'll probably I don't actually know which the route is. I can't figure it. If it's on SatNav, it must be one of many, say 20 different routes. That first bit, I've not seen that in that order before. I've seen it done at the end where they did the manoeuvre because they couldn't get in the car park. And they ended up having to do the manoeuvre at the end of the driving test. And the only way to do it was take them left, do a park on the right reverse. They just take them up Cypress Gardens, if you know where that is. It's just off Waterloo Road. And that used to be a park on the right reverse. So following the road all the way down, 30 miles an hour along here. Don't worry about the sat-nav in the bottom left-hand corner. Sometimes it reads good and sometimes not so good. Sometimes it's not all that accurate. Although in saying that, she did get 2 progression minors. But one of them was for joining the highway. So we'll come back to that in a bit. So just continuing all the way along Plessey Road. Dealt with some traffic, dealt with a bit of a nightmare, wasn't it really? Making our way across the old railway line here, all the way up to the roundabout, not forgetting to give way to the right hand side because this junction is really closed. So you're coming up to it, uneven road surface, cars bouncing around, having a look across to the right. Look how she's done that. Nice and slow, nice and neat. Into the level crossing. Don't enter the level crossing if your exit is blocked. Bringing it round to the left. You cannot go straight on down Plessey Road there because of the junction marker. So what you're doing is you're following the road around to the left. If you're in doubt, please see your instructor. Following the road. Again, you can stop, start on this road. You can do a park on the right reverse on an exam. My Alexa's going nuts. Probably tell me it's going to rain. I'm going to do a stop on the left-hand side. Alexa, what's your notification?
Good evening, Ryan. One new notification from Amazon. On Wednesday, there's a chance of rain near you in Cramlington, starting around 4 a.m. and continuing intermittently until around 11 p.m.
That means it's going to rain tomorrow. Great. It can affect your driving, actually. So we've stopped on the left. Again, prepare, observe, manoeuvre. Moving off. Just let the car through. Absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with that. It wasn't actually raining at the time of this test, but remember to give yourself a little bit of space from the car in front. It still could be quite slippy. Are you guaranteeing that your tyres are the bestest tyres in the world? Probably not. So be careful when you're driving around. Be careful if you're on a test. Leave the space. Don't try and sort of force your way. And just following the road. You can't turn right there because that's the other end of the bus lane. And we're going to come up to another mini roundabout and following the road. On this roundabout, if you get too far left, then you will hit the curb. Just negotiating that speed up. Little twist in the corner, little twist back out. Nice and even. Throwing the car out. You've got to do it. It's a driving test. You're supposed to do it. Another speed bump. It's a little bit slow, to be fair. Could have probably gone 15 to 20 over these. Probably about 15. Now then, coming up to the old roundabout at the end of Newsham. But the thing is, it's been deleted. So this is the first time anybody will probably see this. It was done on Sunday evening. Luckily, I went this way just before the driving test and took my pupil through here without realising they'd altered it quite a lot. So they are going to create multiple junctions as part of the new railway station. But what they've done is they've created this temporary thing at the moment, and you'll see as you come round. So we're coming up to the last speed bump now. Remember, there's a housing estate on your right hand side, so you can't enter the box. So there's the box, and you can't enter this box because you're not turning right. You are following the road now because the roundabout has been deleted and it is still 30. Look where we're going. So there's a junction on your left and there's another junction. This is temporary until they complete the roadworks. At the roundabout, turning right, second exit, giving way to the right hand side. Remembering you're still in roadworks, 30 miles an hour. Which we absolutely drilled everybody on. Watching the roadworks and the cones, following the road. Test length isn't that bad. Yeah, 40 minutes with a little bit on the end, so 39 minutes. Depends on the traffic, I guess. We don't know quite where this person's gone. It's on a sat-nav route. Of course, the examiner will guide you through all those roadworks because there's absolutely no way the sat-nav knows about that junction. The sat-navs are only updated, what, once a year or something? That update probably won't even be on the 2026 update. Just staying under 30 all the way up to the signs. Remember, it's not a target. However, you will be expected to do 27, 28, 29 and 30 miles an hour in that zone. You can't do 22, that's progression, and you can't do 33, that's a fail. So, gone past those signs, quite happy with 40. Coming up to the roundabout, only one way to go, and this is the other end of the bus route that we went past earlier, which you can't go down because you get fined. Just following the road in the left hand side, giving way to the right hand side. So that's actually all right. Just give way to them. There they come. We saw them in the camera there. And remembering to keep your position. If you're coming around this roundabout and you're coming into it too quick and there's nothing on the right hand side and you're doing 20 plus ish, you will leave your lane, and therefore you can be failed for change of position on a roundabout. Just to let you know. Yeah, it's a bad design. I agree. I can hear you muttering it. Again, 50 reminder on the right hand side. My camera's a little bit fisheye, so it doesn't 100% show it. It's trying to be right in the middle. I've tried a few times to get this position correct. Following the road all the way up to the roundabout. Not sure 100% where we're going to. Answers on a postcard until we actually get there. I don't know. Yeah. So we're just waiting for that to happen, aren't we, really? At the roundabout. Are we turning right? Are we going to go left? Are we going to go straight on? Who knows? We know it's on sat-nav. In the right hand side. So turning right in the roundabout. Third exit. Good look across. Got a signal on. So following your routine. Mirror signal, position, speed and look. Coming around. Count your exits. That's the second one. You can see the indicator come on back to the left there. As reflected in the sign. Into the corner. Off we go. Up to 3 horseshoes. Possibly 4th exit. And I think it's probably going to be a 4th exit and up the 189. Possibly Sleekburn and back down the 189 maybe. I think that might be what we're going to do here. So a roundabout. It's very rare you would actually turn left. I don't think of anybody turning left. I think it's a different test route to turn left on this one. So turning right on the roundabout. 4th, we're going to guess 4th exit. Go on, go 4th exit. So in the right hand side, got a signal on, having a look over your shoulder and practically through your back window, giving way to both lanes because you've got absolutely no idea which way anybody's going to go because it's not labelled properly. One day I'll make yet another video about 3 horseshoes, I guess. So going around in the right hand side, and you can actually see my indicators are absolutely huge on the front of this mocker, so you see them reflecting in the signage. So we're going around to the right. Yeah, definitely doing fourth. There's 2 options here. You can either drop into the left-hand side with a mirror check and dropping across with no signal, or you can choose to stay in this right-hand side. There's nothing wrong with either, as long as you get to this point, signal left, move left, exit on the correct side. If you exit in the right-hand side, you can't see. Therefore, it can constitute a fail on a driving test. Joining the highway, joining the dual carriageway, joining the spine road, 189 north. Got about 20 minutes to go on this one. Lots of mirror checking, lots of identifying, making sure it's nice and safe. There we go. Oh, 40 miles an hour, that's a little slow. That's probably where she got the progression. So candidate definitely got a sort of joined, slowed down, then sped up again. Examiner wants to see you on the dials at about 55 or better. By all means, do 70. If you want to do 70, you do 70 miles an hour. Personally, on a driving test, I think you should be doing about 60 or more. And on the dial, you should probably sat about 60, 56 on the GPS there. Bottom left-hand corner. Because I've got this camera, it's quite good. I quite like this camera. Good 4K image on it. You can really zoom in sometimes. And you see we're dead centre of this lane. Of course, we've got lane assist. Can't turn it off on this car. Lane assist will actually push you back into the lane if you have not signalled. So just making our way along the 189 north, the spine road. Just gone under the Blyth junction, watching this left-hand side, watching anybody join, just making sure it's nice and safe. And be aware that people can join. And if you wanted to, you could go in the right. There's nothing wrong with that. They have to give way to you from the slip road, but sometimes it doesn't always happen. So just being aware, seeing that triangle, seeing that join, making yourself aware of that hazard. Still doing about 60. Absolutely fine with that. Just a little bit late on the pickup as we joined, as we know. Continuing along, off at the next exit. So we're not doing Bedlet and Spiral. Just slow down a little bit, down to about 50 there for some reason. We're not doing Bedlet and Spiral. It looks like we are going to do East Sleekburn and then do another part of the Spiral, but you'll see that in a second. And probably go back down Cowpen Road, the 193 at the end. I'm good at guessing this stuff, isn't it? Realistically, you can only go about 15 minutes out from the test centre because it takes 15 minutes to get back. So in 15 minutes, you can only do about 5 or 6 miles on a driving test. So you're only going to cover about 12 to 15 miles on a driving test in that 40 minutes you're on your test for. It's not particularly long. Coming to the end of this road, it's the end of a slip road. You're turning right, you're in the right hand side, get to the corner, stop at the line, then move off. Because that happens. Second turning on the right. Now, if you accidentally choose the first one, as long as you've done it correctly, it's not an issue. They'll just rejoin the highway. Having a look at this really lovely wide junction, picking out the island in the middle, going around the island. Possibly a fraction late there, but that's absolutely fine. 20 miles an hour, tight right turn coming up. Aware of the black and white arrows in the corner. As my cats make a right racket, don't they, in the background? You can hear them, can't you? Here comes that turn. You've had loads of warning signs coming into this. Just be aware that you're in the middle of the road and somebody might come around this corner. So just being aware of it, just getting back to the road position there. It doesn't matter if you're doing 10 miles an hour. It's a 20 zone. It doesn't matter. You can't get really done for progression in a 20 zone because it's about control of the car in the 20 zone. Looking at this next bit of bridge, come to a stop on the left. Sometimes do a bit of a hill start down here, especially if you're going the opposite way. Might even stop you just around this corner after this 30 sign. Of course, you're in the auto. Well, actually, in the manual now, you've got sort of hill start assist anyway, so makes no odds. There we go, there's the stop. So you're not offending anybody. The examiners ask you a really specific thing about stopping on a hill. Don't worry about the junction on the left. It's about this hill start that we're not rolling back. And there we go, we haven't rolled back. So it's about a hill start. It's not about the junction. The examiner will tell you that. Don't worry about the junction, it's just for a hill start. Stopping on the left just before this junction. Whatever it is, he's giving you an instruction, but it's not a one where you would fail. Because normally on a driving test, if you receive an instruction from the examiner, it's counted as a fail. But in where you're stopping and where he's telling you to stop is kind of advice. It's kind of giving you that advice. Down these traffic lights, kind of running out of time now. We're down to sort of, 13 minutes. This is the getting back to the test centre sort of time. Because remember, we can only go 15 minutes out, 15 minutes back-ish because of all the stops. Then we are probably going to go back to the test centre at this point. And yeah, we're going to do that, definitely. And just, yeah, going round the left. There we go, nice and neat. At this point, examiner will tell you, you're going round Bedlington Spiral, pick the right-hand side, stay in the right-hand side and follow the lane in the right-hand side. Treat it a little bit like a roundabout, even though it isn't, it's Bedlington Spiral. I made a video on it recently. Give way to the right. Because you can see all the way across that field, it's really easy to pick out. It's a nice, clear, open-sighted junction. Really easy to get round. On the gas, let's get up 30 plus here, I think. Let's rejoin the dual carriageway. And I know there was a problem rejoining this, even though we've practiced it. As you can probably tell, we practiced everything around here. It was the way that it was joined. So about now, sticking a signal up, let's put a right-hand signal on. No brakes. Let's get all the way across into the left, foot to the floor. Right mirror check, right mirror check, right mirror check, join. It's a little slow at 23. I'd have wanted to join a lot faster than that. But then we can't see behind us. I could put the rear camera on, can't see any point in it. It was a little bit slow. She's up to 4. So we've joined. We're going to leave again. We're going to go down Cowpen Road. It's become really obvious, this route. But I'd have liked to have seen it a bit quicker, and that's probably where we got the progression fault. It's not a fail because we haven't caused anybody to slow down, swerve, stop, beat the horn, flash the lights, whatever else it is. The top of the road, of course, turning left. You never turn right on a driving test on this roundabout from this angle. You wouldn't go back to Bebside. You're just going to increase your test time. It's likely if you did decide to go in the other lane and turn right, that the examiner would probably make you turn around in the car park where the butcher's is and the Porky's restaurant. I'm thinking that's right, that he's likely to turn you around in that car park. He's likely to make you go in one side and out the other. He's not going to make you continue all the way down the junction and back round a massive loop. He's going to kind of deliberately force you to do it. Next roundabout, follow the road ahead, second exit, just making your way through Asda. Made a video on this recently about this junction. Pretty difficult. Kitty Brewster, Asda Roundabout, call it what you want. What do they need to do here? Yeah, probably put crossroads in. It's a poor layout, to be fair. Join all this wonderful traffic all the way back towards town centre and down into the town, really. That's all you're doing. So following the road. As you're coming down here, remember to keep your gap so you can see the tyres of the car in front of you. And that you're not blocking a junction. Very good. Like that. Making our way up to the traffic lights. Remember, don't go in the left-hand side. If you go in the left-hand side, you have to turn left because the arrows tell you to do it. So you want to go into the middle to follow the road ahead. If you go into the left-hand side, you have to turn left because the arrow tells you to do it. And if you do continue there, and I had somebody who did that, then they constitute a fail. There's actually one that's not on the test route in Jesmond, and people always screw it up, and they mark the lines out and people still screw it up. They still go in the wrong lane. I had a taxi that did that to us earlier as well, by the way, that they went into the lane that says turn left and just carried on straight. And even my people said, I knew that was going, I knew that taxi driver was absolutely going to do it. If I put that on as a TikTok though, most people go, they've just gone wrong. He's a taxi driver, supposed to be a professional driver. Supposed to be looking at the arrows. If it was a normal person, yeah, all right, and they might not be familiar with the area, but it was just poor driving, and it was a local cab company, so he would know that that arrow was there. So continuing, past McDonald's, past Greg's, past the bed shop, all the way down into town, remembering that they can use the retail park on the left-hand side for a manoeuvre. Driving to a bay, reversing to a bay, something like that. Lots of roadworks down here up until recently. All those roadworks are now gone, making the transit through the area a little bit more easier to stomach, if you will. Making it easier for everybody. I think they're making it easier. I think they could make it a lot easier than this, but yeah, it'll kind of like I'd need about 50 million quid, I think. 50 million should do it. I reckon I could fix that road actually for probably, with markings and taking the roundabout out, depending on how much it costs to take a roundabout out, but I reckon £1 million would fix that road from one end to the other. I might make a video on that. Following the road along all the way down. Yes, and it just destroys some trees. But remember that the council are taking these grass bits out because they're too much maintenance and they're filling them full of concrete. Isn't that nice of them? Nothing to do with the bike lane that they're going to put in. Following the road all the way down. Remember, they can take you on the next left by Lidl. They make you do an emergency stop down the back by the Halfords garage thing. Looking at this junction, being careful nobody jumps out on you. We've literally got 5 minutes of this video left. Following the road around to the right, give way to anybody that's got a signal on that's coming around your way. You should give way to them. Onto your next section, turning left at the next roundabout, because Waterloo Road, is it Waterloo Road? And Bridge Street are closed, so you can't get down that way anyway. I'm going to have a look at that actually. £4 million for a bike lane. Probably could have resurfaced all the roads in Blyth for that. There'll be some engineer somewhere going, Probably could have done. Probably could have spent about £2 million on resurfacing all these roads that are broken, remarking them all, making them a lot safer for pedestrians. Probably could have done. Is it probably about time that we started to do 20 in these built up areas? Probably. Those lights are not on. So if you're going to go down past the back of Lidl, you come out at this junction on the left-hand side where this Halfords repair centre is. So you come out of this junction, you might have done your emergency stop. Sometimes they take you down there if they want to do an extra thing. If they haven't done enough stops on the left, they also make you stop on the left just along here. And we're coming up to Rachel's traffic light. I always call this Rachel's traffic light. There's a lady I taught a long time ago, and she eventually passed in her own car because she got a last minute booking. I couldn't accommodate it. She went and did it in her own car. But when she did it in my car, I think there's a video on of it, she came up to the traffic light and the arrow came on and she kind of didn't turn left. You can't go straight on. The signs are saying you can't go straight on because you'll end up in Morrison's or in the car parks. Technically, you can sort of drift through those car parks. Light's gone green for the arrow and we go around. Don't be scared by the cars coming round because they've got a different set of lights and a different set of requirements to get round that one. Following the road, this is another car park on the right and it's Catapult on the left. They do all sorts of things over in Catapult. So you're only going to go straight here. On to the next roundabout. Again, you're only going to go straight in the next one at the moment. You can't turn right because it's closed, because that's where they're putting the bike lane in. So we're coming up to that where the bus depot is. And there's the warning signs about Bridge Street is closed, continue the road, follow the diversion. Freehold Street for diversion. You're still looking for people coming around from the right, by the way, because you can get that sometimes. Excuse me. Following the road, past the old bits of Blyth, the old buildings and the old police station. Still don't know what they're going to do with that. Probably filling up with water by now. At the roundabout, turning right, because we're running out of time now. I've got a couple of minutes. And they got sneaky round the back of here, by the way, if you're interested. So we're turning right, third exit. Keep your eyes on the ball. Keep your eyes on the ball. Because last tests just fail in the last 5 minutes sometimes come round here. Because you haven't given way to the right or something silly like that. Always give way to the cars coming. There we go. Nicely done, candidate. And the bus I'd probably stay for as well. I probably wouldn't challenge that bus. Would you challenge the bus? Don't say yes. There we go. And that car's flashed them through. See that? Yeah, so Maya's picked up on it. Sorry, candidate's picked up. I didn't say who it was. She's picked up on it, and that's absolutely fine. So the car's flashed us out. We're responding to that. It's not that they're making us aware of their presence. That we're just responding to somebody letting us through, really. Bringing it round the right. This is the back way into the test centre. Sometimes I've seen it done because the examiner's kind of ran out of time and he doesn't really want to take them on a couple of more quite bad right turns, if I'm honest. So it's just as easy to take them around and he'll guide them through this. He'll literally kind of instruct them. So the examiner's saying, right, take your time bringing it round. Very careful on these corners because it's very tight and sometimes cars can come round really quickly. So be careful as you come around. So he's literally saying, like, do 10 miles an hour. And we go into the electric vehicle charging. Oh, hang on, hello. We go into the electrical vehicle charging points on the right, and you can see Pete's car there. And Peter also had a pass this day, so congratulations to that lad there who passed. Good result for Peter as well. Probably quite happy with that. And across the line, so to speak. And there we go. Going to get to the picture. There we go. Blurred her out. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. bye for now and enjoy your weekend, week, whatever it is. Thank you for listening.